Hi everybody, I'm Philip VanDusen, and today I'm going to talk to you about 10 portfolio tips to get the job you want. On this channel, I share insights on strategic branding and graphic design for creative professionals, entrepreneurs, and designers. And today I'm going to talk about 10 portfolio tips that you can use to put together the best portfolio and to get the jobs that you want. I've got a little experience with reviewing portfolios. I've hired over 500 designers and freelancers in my life. I've reviewed literally thousands of portfolios. I've served on the AIGA Portfolio Review Board as well as the San Francisco College of Art Advisory Board for graduating seniors. So I've looked at a lot of books. And I get a lot of questions from designers about, what's the best pieces to have in their book? What should they have in? What should they not? How should they approach it? So I wanted to put together some thoughts on some portfolio tips. So let's jump right into it. Number one, the first thing about portfolios is you got to have one. So you got to start. And a lot of people are hesitant to actually make the leap and start putting their work together in a book. And that can be a physical book, but more likely these days it's a digital book. And you have to start collecting them and actually just get out there and start showing it. People are afraid that they don't have the best work or that they're too new in their career. Forget about it. Get out there and show your work. Number two is that you have to realize that portfolios are never done. They are always a work in progress. I've been in my career 25 years and my book is always changing. So you may start off your career with a lot of student work, and as you get professional jobs, be shuffling that student work out and more professional jobs in. But as you do better and better work and get more and more mature in your practice, you're going to be shifting your portfolio. So just accept the fact that it's a work in progress and it's always going to be changing. Number three, aesthetics are important. So the number one thing about your portfolio is that it's got to be aesthetically pleasing. You have to make sure that you have the most contemporary, best designed, best considered work that you've done in your portfolio. I'm going to talk more about strategic thinking and philosophies around how you talk about your work, but how your work looks is really what you're going to rise and fall on. So aesthetics are important. Number four, you have to be able to articulate the problem that you solved with your work. So fine art is about eliciting emotion or expressing emotions by an artist. But design is really work that's been produced to solve a problem. So you have to be able to know how to communicate what the problem was that you were trying to solve with the work that you did. So being able to describe what the creative brief was, if there was one, or what the project was, and what the reason for creating the work was, you have to be able to articulate those sort of things about your work. Now, number five, you also have to be able to talk about your work in terms of objectivity rather than subjectivity. Everyone has, favorite things about design. They love this font. They love this color. They think this is a very cool photograph. But when it comes right down to it, everyone's got an opinion aesthetically, and you're never going to win a critique or an argument about your design work if you rely entirely just on aesthetic comments. So you have to be able to tie your comments and your description of your work back to objective things, like it was for this sort of customer. And so that demographic, that age, that gender likes this type of color, or that person who does that sort of activity is used to seeing this type of font and they're attracted to it. Those sort of comments and the way to frame the work and talk about it is really important in how you present your portfolio and how you're able to support the work in your portfolio. Number six, student work is okay. So when you're starting off your career, a lot of people are concerned that everything I have in my book is stuff that I did for projects for school. I don't have any professional work yet, or the work I've done on the outside or these tiny little companies, and it doesn't look very impressive. Those are just excuses. Student work is totally okay, and anyone who's looking at your book early in your career will understand that, and they're not going to hold it against you. Number seven, self-assigned projects are also okay. The type of work you want to have in your book is the type of work you want to get. So if you haven't had professional engagements, paying gigs where you've been able to produce the kind of work that you really want to do, assign yourself some projects. Give yourself a problem to solve. Develop some work that's the type of design work that you really want to do, whether that's packaging or user experience or web design. Whatever that thing is, give yourself a project and put it in your book if it's great work. And it's okay to show self-assigned projects. Just make sure that you describe them as such when you're having a conversation with somebody. Number 8, show only the work that you want to get. This is the most important comment I have about portfolios. Everyone who reviews portfolios is trying to fill a role. And they are going to look for portfolios that show that you can do what they need done. And so you are going to get the work that's in your portfolio. So if you have a student portfolio that's full of, a bunch of very disparate things, people aren't going to know exactly where you fit. But if you have a portfolio that's very kind of more focused point of view, you do packaging, you do user experience, you do web design, you do photo retouching. When they look at your book, they're going to know what you want to do and what you're great at. So as much as possible, as you evolve your portfolio over time, try to make it focus on and feel full of the type of work that you want to do in your career. Very important. Number 9, and this is when you get into an interview situation with a creative director. You want to make sure that you don't take control too much. You want to be very cognizant of how the person who's looking at your book wants to run the interview, the kind of timing that they want to take in the interview. I can't tell you how many times I've been reviewing someone's portfolio and they really monopolize all the time and they're talking laboriously about a specific project and flipping through the book very, very slowly. Having seen as many books as I have, I can move through a book very quickly. And so making sure that when you're showing your book to someone, you're very cognizant of what they want out of the interview and the pace that they want to take is really important, and it's going to reflect well on you. And number 10, don't take anything personally. You may not get accepted for the job, you may get a little criticism about your work, but it's always done to try to make you better. It's very, very rare that creative directors or anyone reviewing your work is going to be giving you harsh criticism just to shoot you down. It's not going to happen. You may just not be right for the role that they need to fill. And you may not have gotten the job, not because of your skills or that you're not good at the thing that you do, but because you're not exactly the right fit. So don't take that stuff personally because it's not personal. And so with that, I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, hit subscribe below so you can see my videos when they come out. And visit me on my website, philipvandusen.com. I'd love to interact with you on your brand and hear about your creative challenges and successes. And while you're there, subscribe to my newsletter. It's called Brand MUSE, and it comes out every 2 weeks, and I share trends and insights and resources in graphic design and entrepreneurship. And with that, thanks again for watching. Bye for now.